Hello, my name is Hubert Trapdoor Crabsworth, official policy penguin for the Regina Dentata Party. In this video, we will be going over the most important policy revelation made by the Regina Dentata Party. A policy which proves that not only are we Canada true north strong and free, not only are we proverbially elbows up, but that we are truly dancing on the lip of madness. Join us now as we explore the S or Z of the Heads Party platform, Squatters' Law or Zombie Horde. At this time, we would like to state that whether we will enact Squatters' Law or Zombie Horde depends on the state of our economy. Squatters' Law is a very cheap policy to enact, one that will undoubtedly help millions upon millions of Canadians. Zombie Horde is much more expensive, and we do not wish to financially burden the citizens of Canada. To that end, we begin with Squatters' Law, the underpinning of Canadian society in foreign policy. Squatters' Law is a linchpin in Canadian heritage. We will never grow as a country without enacting Squatters' Law to help solve national and international conflicts. Further, we feel that the current system of Squatters' Law, which is 10 uninterrupted years in a single dwelling, is far too restrictive to be of any use in Canada when the abandoned building district is growing at exponential rates. Prime Minister Dentata believes the rights of Canadians to occupy buildings with vacancies in a much more apt environment. We will go over the type of property that we are looking at, whether it be single multifamily dwellings, rented property, not-for-profit owned, corporately owned, outside of Canada, and even houses owned by politicians such as Premier's Residings and 24 Sussex Place in Ottawa. However, we begin with simply, how do you enact Squatters' Law? Unlike our current archaic system, Squatters' Law can be activated by the following. The squatter must record themselves in the property in question after the vacancy period, shouting, "Squatters' Law, bitch!" and upload the video to www.squatterslawbitch.com. This will be a government-ran website. Canadian representatives will follow these rules, regardless of which province, state, or country we are invading. We are pleased to announce that squatterslawbitch.com will automatically date and timestamp the video based on time of upload, thus ensuring the transparency of service. But how does it work? Based on the principle of vacant time, squatting time, and the transfer of title. In order to protect those working abroad and Canadian snowbirds, the length of time until a property is considered vacant for single and multi-family dwellings and rented properties are 6 calendar months. This means that people who watch over properties can occupy them in order to reset the time. Not-for-profit owned buildings have 90 days until they are considered vacant, while corporately owned buildings and buildings outside of Canada that are vacant have only 15 days before Squatters' Law can be enacted. For corporately owned buildings, this means that so long as business does not take place inside of a corporate building within 15 days, it is eligible to be squatted in by homeless individuals. The individuals must then squat in and protect their property by utilizing the squatterslawbitch.com website as seen before, for the following length of time before a transfer of title must take place. For single and multi-use family dwellings, they must squat within the property for 6 months, being uninterrupted by the property owner. Similarly, for rented properties, 6 months. For not-for-profit owned, 90 days, and for corporately owned buildings, 24 hours. Squatters' law may only be enacted by individuals experiencing homelessness, and thus cannot be enacted by a corporate entity. In order to protect the safety of our citizens, the following buildings are completely exempt from squatters' law. 24 Sussex, so long as it's being resided in. Public buildings such as schools and libraries. Buildings for the temporary residence and care of sick children, such as Ronald McDonald Children's Charity Houses. Heritage buildings, if they're being properly maintained. Shanty towns. Streets occupied by the Royal Canadian Feisty Felines, a cat organization that strives for accountability within government. Automobiles, unless on squatters' property. Long-term care facilities, hospices, and military-owned buildings, especially secret ninja training grounds. We also look favorably upon family dwellings, which are exempt if they are vacant for compassionate reasons, such as caring for sick relatives out of the property. And any mall choosing to convert and or build a multi-floor residency in which 75% or more of square footage is devoted to residential units. Premier's homes have 30 days of vacancy so as to protect their duty to their constituents. If, however, we find major windfalls through lawsuits and other means, Regina Dentata may choose to enact a zombie horde, in which billions upon billions of dollars will be spent to reanimate the dead. Why? Because Regina Dentata feels that zombies are much more apt to deal with the citizens of Canada than their current corporately owned political figures. This corporate action will see a new tower of power for all future political figures, in which prominent prime ministers who have passed away will be reanimated to share their knowledge, so well as current other political figures within Canada. This includes, but is not limited to, the ghost of Pierre Elliott Trudeau, Jack Layton, Joe Clark, Wilfrid Laurier, and Sir John A. Macdonald, to name a few. In order to accomplish this, Regina Dentata will work tirelessly to perfect the only dance crazy enough to reanimate the dead. We do not want to get sued, but you get the idea. Top electricians and mad scientists have estimated the cost of this to be several $billion. Which, let's be honest, if the United States continues to go down this rabbit hole, there's going to be a hell of a lot more than the $1 trillion lawsuit. I'm Hubert Trapdoor Crabsworth, and I thank each and every one of you for listening, watching, and or keeping this on while you pleasure yourself to the thought of Regina Dentata kicking the current hierarchical structure straight in the crotch.